Yeah, mashallah. These are unprecedented times. As far as I can tell, I don't think ever in human history there has been a situation like this. So people that are young, like yourself, your grandchildren, may Allah give you a long life. They're going to say you lived through the COVID-19. So these are historical and unprecedented times in human history, and we're all navigating new waters. Shaykh Abdullah bin Bayyah comes out of a classical Islamic tradition. He's not a modernist. He's somebody who really is rooted in the classical tradition, but he is somebody who believes in tajdeed and believes in ijtihad. But he's not a modernist. He's a traditionalist, and so it's very important to understand that we are obliged by our religion to obey the people in authority, and this is something that's very important, because the negative consequences of not doing that ends up creating much more human suffering. And the Prophet ﷺ said, "Al-mu'minu la yudhillu nafsah," that a believer should not humiliate himself. They asked him, how does he humiliate himself? And he says, يَتَعَرَّضُ لِلْبَلَاءِ مَا لَا يُطِيقُ, to expose themselves to a tribulation or a trial that they can't bear. And Ahmed Zarruq said that one of the best examples of that is opposing government, and then the government humiliating and abasing you because of that. So these are important aspects of the religion. I mean, we do have a tradition of truth, speaking the truth to unjust tyrants, and those are very important aspects of the tradition, and that's undeniable. That's the role of the scholars. Ahmed ibn Hanbal said it should be done in private. So those are important. We can't deny that. Being silent in the face of injustice is also can be a crime for some people. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inshallah bless you. Like I said, the Imams online, you guys were ahead of the curve, because now all the Imams are online. But may Allah bless you for your foresight in creating this forum and recognizing the importance now of the global community. We don't have the type of scholarship that we used to have in the numbers that we used to have, but we do have people like Shaykh Abdullah bin Bayyah, who, as somebody who's been working with him closely for going on more than 25 years, I can attest to just the vastness of his scholastic knowledge, but also the depth of his spiritual training. His father was a great sheikh and a spiritual master as well, Sheikh Mahfoud, Sheikhna Mahfoud. And the sheikh is, he's very humble, like you said, and people sometimes, because he's like that, they don't realize what's in front of him. But I mean, I just call him Ghazali or Zamanihi. He really is the Ghazali of his time. And one of the things that the Arabs say, and the Sufis in particular say this, they say that al-mu'asara, is like contemporaneity, like living at the same time as a person, is a type of hijab. It's something that you're veiled by the people of your time. So people, when Malcolm was alive, it was just, for a lot of people, wasn't a big deal for them. But when you lose those great people, it's the later people who realized who they were. So very often that people living at the same time don't acknowledge that. And that's how I view Shaykh Abdullah bin Bayyah, is that people really, a lot of people have just missed him completely because they don't understand who he is and what he's trying to do, and the sincerity that is very evident to me and the people who work with him and around him, not to mention the many karamat that we've seen at his hands. And the Arabs say al-qurbu hijab, that being too close to somebody also can veil you from who they are. So, may Allah open our eyes and our inner sights, and may we see the people of our time for who they are and respect them. Our religion is a religion of hierarchy. we believe in the equality before the law. Everybody's equal, should be equal before the law, but we don't believe in this idea somehow that everybody's the same. It's a very dangerous modern concept. Sayyidina Ali said, قِيمَةَ الْمَرْءِ فِي مَا يُحْسِنُهُ. The value of a human being is what they do with ihsan. And هَلْ يَسْتَوِي الَّذِينَ يَعْلَمُونَ وَالَّذِينَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. Are they the same, those who know and those who don't know? And this is why civility can only come about from hierarchy, because when everybody's equal, there's no basis for civility. There's no basis for adab. You say, oh, we treat everybody the same. Well, then you've lost adab, because when you have a hierarchy, you have basically duties. So the duty of an elder is to have compassion on the younger, and the duty of the younger is to have respect for the elder. This is why in your language, now you speak a very nice English, but in your the language of your parents and your ancestors.
I do speak Urdu as well, Sheikh.
I know, but they have a whole way of speaking. If somebody's older, you actually have to put a suffix on the word. Like you wouldn't just say awesome, you'd say awesome by, or something like that, to show that respect. Those things are being lost on modern peoples. If you have a white beard, you're supposed to be treated with certain respect just because you've lived that long on the earth. And so the Prophet said, "Laysa minna man la yuwaqqir kabirana wa la yarham saghirana." He's not from us the one that doesn't show respect for our elders or compassion for our youth. So this is very important to remember, that we really have to restore in our community a type of recognition, that people, umirtu an unazzila an-nas manazilahum. There's not to belittle people, especially it's not about poverty, because some of the people that deserve the most respect are some of the poorest people in the world. And I've seen them. Some of the greatest scholars that I've ever known in my life were people that lived in huts in West Africa. So it's not about richness and wealth. It's about piety and knowledge. And these are the hallmarks of our faith that the Prophet ﷺ said, Inna hadha Sayyidina Uthman radiallahu anhu, Inna hadha al-Quran yarfa'u unasan wa yada'u akharin. This book elevates some people and it bases others. It elevates the people of knowledge and it bases the people of ignorance. So knowledge is really something that we have to respect. And the ijtihad of the people of knowledge, we might not understand it because we don't have the scope of their vision or their perspective. And so it's very important to also to have just a good opinion about people, because there are people that attack Shaykh Abdullah bin Bayyah and they don't understand that he's working on a whole other level in terms of ijtihad. And I was once with him in a car, and I'll end with this. I was once with him in a car, and there was a scholar from his own community who was attacking him online and writing articles, and he said it was troubling him. And there was somebody in the car who said to him, Shaykh, don't worry, he can't harm you, he can't do anything. But he said, no, I wasn't thinking about myself, I was thinking about him. Like he was troubled about him, like that's that's where he was, spiritually, just attacking other people.